Welcome to Trial TV Live. I am the Squeegee of Justice. Thank you so much for joining us today as we are picking up on our coverage of Florida versus Stephan Sterns. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, wait, hold on. I've got a... give me one moment. I've got a second. Okay, there we go. Too many windows open. All right, here we go. All right, I am joined again by the fabulous Jules, co-host Jules. Let me bring Jules up on the stage. Hello, my friend. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm doing just well. I am excited to have you back with us. We did a little test run this morning. We thought the pre-trial was going to start at 9, and they changed it on us to 1:30. So here we are.
They moved all of these hearings around today, and it's most frustrating because now they changed Koberger's time as well.
Yep.
And and then also the Diddy thing is supposed to be going back in court at 1. So it's like, what a day for trials. Huh?
I know. It's amazing. I'm kind of glad that Stearns wasn't at 9 because our governor here had a press conference. So I think that would have bounced. I think that would have taken precedent. So I'm actually kind of glad that they moved it. I know they didn't move it because of that, but in hindsight, I'm glad that they didn't have it at 9 because his press conference was at 9 as well.
You don't have to say what you assumed his press conference was about, but were you right?
Yes.
Cool. That's all I needed to know.
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I found out that they're anyway. Yeah. So anyway, here we are with Stearns. We have Grizzly and Nick with us on in the morning session. So that was cool. So again, thank you guys for being a part of that, joining us for that. So what are we expecting to hear? Well, let's treat this as it's new. Okay. So Madeline Soto had just turned 13 on February 22nd of 2024. Which was, I think, like a Wednesday. And then they had a party for her mom, Jennifer, and I guess her boyfriend, right? Stephan was Jennifer's boyfriend. Had a party for her that Sunday, which would have been the 25th. And then Stephan supposedly dropped her off on Monday at her school. Of course, she never showed up. That would have been the 26th. That's the last time she was seen. And then they searched and they found her body on that Friday, which was March 1st.
Correct.
So, yeah. And then there have been interviews with both Stephan and Jennifer. We've looked at those before. We'll probably go back and revisit those when the trial does start. The trial does start on July 15th, which is right around the corner. That's when jury selection starts. And yeah, we'll do some deep diving there while we wait for jury to be selected. But what do you have to add?
Well, what I have to add is that I am so annoyed at the fact that I can't be in the courtroom. I spoke to Michael and I said, I really want to do this. And he was flat out, no, you can't.
Yeah.
We'll revisit in September. That's my kid. What can I tell you? I think that I don't know. Rumor has it that the defense is going to attempt to push back the July 15th trial again. Okay. I don't think that the judge is going to allow it. I don't.
How many times have they pushed this trial? Roughly 2, 3, 4 times?
Well, at first, he wanted his right to a speedy trial. And then so he was granted that. Then all of a sudden, he changed his mind, just like Koberger did. So I don't know. But now, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And as far as his cell phone, that's a big deal, right? Because he gave his cell phone willingly to law enforcement. They were looking at it just for the GPS, and then they searched further without a search warrant. They searched further, and that's where they found thousands of pictures
Yeah. Yeah.
of Madeline and Stephan. So that I know they had a pretrial hearing, I think in March or April, and we
It
did
was,
cover that. When was it?
I
April?
think it was April, because
Yeah.
wasn't the March hearing put off till April?
It could have been. You're right. It could have been. Let me just see while we think about that for a second. Let me see, because we covered it. And has that, okay, hearings and motions, 2020. Okay, I have four. So it was April 23rd.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
April 23rd. So has the court? I have not been following the docket. Has the court made a ruling on that?
If I remember correctly, folks, I
Mhm.
think the judge ruled that they can come in.
Okay.
I think the defense may bring that up once again today,
Hmm.
because that for this particular trial, that evidence is very damning. Now,
Yeah.
he gave them his phone and said, here, knowing what was on his phone. But remember, he did a factory reset on the phone, because he said that to the cops. Well, I
Hmm.
accidentally I was trying to back up files, and instead I accidentally did a factory reset.
Hmm.
Folks, just know you could do all the factory resets that you want to do. uh Once your stuff is on there, it's on there. It's not,
Hmm.
it doesn't go away. And
Yeah.
that's what he thought he was being slick by doing that, never thinking at all that
Hmm.
those pictures were going to be found.
Yeah. I'm just reviewing my notes from that April 22nd. So the state said the factory reset happened the day Maddie went missing,
That's right.
and his cell phone was in airplane mode. They had probable cause based on last seeing Maddie. So he was the last one to see her. He admits that freely, and
Right.
so that was their probable cause. Now, here's the other thing with Florida PI Sam. She talks a lot about digital evidence, and we've done some shows with her about that. And this is going to be huge for him. It's not so much DNA, I think, because I don't know if DNA was found on Maddie. I guess we'll find out eventually. But to me, this is obviously, well, there's two trials. First, let's back up. There's two trials. The first one is the essay, the abuse, had been going on for years and years, photos, all that stuff. And that's happening hopefully July 15th. Then the second one, which is the deletion of Madeline, is going to be September 22nd.
Right.
So the DA split those up. William J. split those up. And because why did he want those two trials separate?
The reason why is because in order to get the death penalty, he has to have prior criminal acts. So if they
Mhm.
were to try both of these at the same time, he doesn't have any criminal history in his background at all. So
Mhm.
they wouldn't be able to ask for the death penalty. And so Mr. J opted to separate the two. Let's go for the SA, get
Mhm.
a conviction on that,
Mhm.
then try him for murder, and then they could bring in prior bad acts, which would have been the SA, and they can ask for the death penalty.
Gotcha.
That was the logic here. And frankly, I agree.
Mhm. Yeah,
I agree.
I think that was good. That was a good move. That was a good tactic. I think if they had kept them together, would they have, like, I guess they would have kind of had to treat those almost as two different trials in and of themselves, right? So you have two trials in one,
Yeah,
you know?
basically, they would.
Yeah.
Well,
Because you'd have to bring in evidence and witnesses on the one, and then evidence and witnesses on the second one.
So I would think what they would do is if they had decided to do them together, which I'm glad they didn't, but they would probably have to address the actual murder first and then to show the motive go into the SA.
Right.
That's my thought if they were going to do them together. But I am quite happy that Mr. J has decided to split them.
To split it. Yeah, I agree with you. I would agree. You'd have to show her the deletion first, and then why. What's the whole point? Why did he do that? Oh, because of
this.
Because of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, was it something that, got out of control, or was she going to talk to somebody he didn't want her to talk to? All this stuff. Now he's claiming on his jail phone calls to his parents, he's claiming that he found Madeline, right?
Yeah.
So he's already that he found her. So we at least have that from him, right? He's not saying I had nothing to do with it. I don't even know where. Yeah. So, but then I'm trying to think. Did he explain how she got then from Jennifer's house to the Everglades, or wherever he dropped her off?
No, it wasn't the Everglades.
I know. Some guy's farm, right? Wasn't it somebody's farm or something like that?
Yeah. No, he didn't. And I really believe that the defense is gonna do it as Jennifer did it, and my client was covering up for her.
Yeah. So he was trying to.
But that would come out in the murder trial, not the SA trial.
Right. Right. But he's still going. Okay, so he wouldn't be okay if the jury believes that story. Then they'll be like, okay, we won't find you guilty of the actual. Like, I wonder what the charges are. I'm going down the path of, if the jury says, okay, we believe that you didn't actually do the deed, but then you disposed of the body. That's obviously a crime as well.
That's still, yeah. But no, I don't think not any of that is gonna fly here.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Right, Lady Justice. Yeah.
Ben doesn't have a motive. He does. However, okay, let's just throw this out there because we have like 2 or 3 minutes. So Jennifer's motive would be, I found out about this and I got jealous. I got mad.
And killed your daughter.
I hit her too hard. We were right. I don't know. I mean, just throwing it out.
But what if that was the case? If say she found out, which I believe deep in my heart that she was well aware of what was going on.
Yeah. 100%.
Only because you don't send your daughter to go to bed with a 40-somewhat-year-old man. But let's go with what you said, Chris. She found out. Why would you kill your daughter? If anything, I could see her blowing the brains out of Sterns.
Right. No, I'm saying that maybe she confronted her daughter. She's like, is this true? And Madeline, sorry, I want to say Maddie, and then Madeline was saying, yes. And then they got in this heated argument and they started fighting, and Jennifer grabbed something and hit her over the head. I don't know. I'm just saying it's a far-fetched possibility, but it is a possibility, I don't think that's true. I don't think it happened. I'm just saying it could.
No, but that's really plausible that he would say something like that and then say he disposed of her to cover up for Jennifer.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So DB says Jen and Maddie fought all the time. Maybe Jen just got carried away. I don't believe it either. We're just playing devil's advocate. We're just basically just wasting time right now, waiting for the trial to start.
I think that, she was strangled.
Then there's that.
So,
sorry, she was strangled.
We won't find that out.
Wow. Then there's that.
Yeah. That has not the medical part of the autopsy has not been released. The only thing that they released was the manner of death. But I lost my train of thought.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No, that's fine.
They got in a fight. Jennifer got carried away. Devil's advocate. Those are kind of the last things I remember I said.
Look, the bottom line is, I really feel like Jennifer Soto has responsibility here. She may not have murdered her daughter, but she certainly, I don't care what anybody says, she certainly knew what could go wrong by sending her daughter upstairs to sleep with him. Any mother would know you just don't do that, especially in her interview when she brought up the whole Woody Allen thing.
Right.
So she knew nothing is going to change my mind on that.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why she wasn't charged somehow, some way, unless they gave her immunity. I don't know, but
what percentage do you think she'll be called to the stand, and by which side?
I don't think the defense is going to call her. If she was given immunity, it would be the state that's going to call her. But she's going to have to testify in this trial because she's going to have to say, yes, Maddie went upstairs many times to go to sleep because, well, I needed my sleep. She can't get around that because her interrogation videos will be shown in court. So she has to stick with what she originally told those cops. I would be tired and I needed my sleep, so I sent her upstairs with him. No. So I think she's going to have to testify in this, and she's probably going to have to testify in the murder trial. I think she testifies in both.
Yeah. Well, I was the only reason I was saying if she comes in for his defense is because she was saying he didn't do this, he wouldn't have done this, blah blah blah. But then when they showed her the pictures, then she started to change her tune and says, "Oh, I can't believe this. She started calling him names and stuff like that." So
the thing of it is if she testifies, of course, the defense cross-examines her. Don't be a bit surprised if they don't ask her, were you given immunity to be here today?
Of course.
And they will bring up what she said in her earlier statements. But you said Stephan would never do anything like this, didn't you? They will bring that out. But I seriously don't think a jury is going to believe him innocent. I don't. Right.
And then there's those phone calls with his parents that when he was in jail, the jail phone calls, where he's saying he found her. I mean, do you think that's going to come in? What do you think? Would they play that where he's literally saying, I found her and I saw her,
The state's not going to bring that in.
No.
I think the defense will, but I don't think the state will. And again, this is the SA.
Right.
That would be, in my opinion, and God knows I've been wrong before, but in my opinion, that's something that the defense would use in the September trial.
Yeah. No, you're right. That's not, that would not be brought into, that would be brought into the deletion part. Absolutely. In September. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're waiting for a feed to kick in. It's a local channel, and I'm all over it. So just waiting for that to kick in. So see if we have any comments we can pull up here. Let's see. Baca says they shouldn't give her immunity. They have enough on Sterns without Jen, in your opinion.
I agree. I
Yeah.
absolutely 100% agree.
Yeah. Lady Justice True Crime. I think the state has to call her to justify that immunity. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't see it. Anyway, I'll keep our audience entertained.
No. It's all right. We have plenty to talk about. I'm just kind of going through
I'm just
our.
being silly.
You're just being silly.
I'm just being silly.
And we talked a little bit about the sheriff
Yeah. And again,
before, and
I
you don't think
stand by
that's
what I said this morning. I don't think that
yeah
that's going to play into this at all. I
yeah.
really don't.
Hmm. I think the defense is going to try and throw spaghetti against the wall and muddy the waters and say, hey, if well, let's back it up. The Lopez was found. He had pictures of Madeline's body, posted it on his personal Instagram within 24 hours. They were taken down, I think, within minutes, 5-10 minutes, something like that. He offered an apology. He paid a fine. Um, so an incredible breach of ethics, and morality. But is it going to hurt the case? Possibly not. But then about a month ago, he was arrested for racketeering. So he was running. There was a Eclipse nightclub, or gentleman's club or some kind of club, and they had slots there, and they were doing illegal gambling, and he was busted on that. They were pulling in like, what were they pulling in, like $1 million a month or something, or some
Well, here's
ridiculous
the
amount, 20,000
thing.
a day. Yeah.
It's no secret that those kind of establishments are
Mm-hmm.
all over Florida, all
Yeah.
over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So, did he screw up and screw his life up and screw up a good career?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
But when it came to the law enforcement aspect, they got nothing on him.
Yeah. Yeah. If anything, it's just going to, like I said, I think defense will just throw spaghetti against the wall just to get the jury looking over here. Hey, look what happened. This sheriff, who's the top sheriff, top law enforcement, he's crooked. So it's not a stretch to think that maybe these other cops are crooked. And if they're crooked, how is this is this investigation? How can we trust this investigation? You've seen this before. Literally every case, defense is always questioning law enforcement and their tactics, and chain of custody, and yada yada. You know how it goes. So that's all I'm saying. I'm saying that I think they're going to use whatever they can, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, will it come into play for the SA part of it? Probably not, because he took the picture of her body, or somehow he got the picture of her body and posted that. So if it does come in, it'll come in. I would think it would come in for the deletion trial versus, because those two seem to be two separate things, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah. So we're still waiting for the feed to kick in. Just so everybody knows. Let me just see. Come over to another outlet. Nothing there. Another outlet. So nothing there. All right. Yeah, it's just it's going to be one of those days. We're just going to have to hurry up and wait.
And I never did hear back from Kathy. So,
Hmm.
and I know this is a really busy day for her.
Yeah, Coburger is going on right now, and we'll cover that. You guys, don't worry. If you want,
we can start it from the beginning.
Yeah, if you want to wait with us, we will definitely cover Coburger after this is over with. Only because we have more invested in this. We did not cover anything of Koberger at all. So, um,
I
otherwise it would be
did.
over there. I know you did. I
I
know. And
did right from the start on another channel. Nerd Report.
there
My
you go.
favorite. That's how I used to start the day.
Wait, how is
Welcome
it?
to Nerd Report. My favorite. Yeah. Yeah, we did.
Nice.
We did. We covered it until there really was not much more.
Yeah, I don't know why. Aaron and I just were. It's an interesting case, but for some reason we were just involved in other things and just never hooked into it. But
I don't think I knew you guys back then.
we didn't meet you. Well, it was before Sarah Boone, of course. So maybe it was. Let's see, that was October. We knew each other probably in August. Maybe did we connect in August?
Oh gosh,
What was it? August? Yeah. August, or it could have been September. I think we were already talking before September because we were making plans to go to.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
we were making those plans. So it had to be the summer of what, Aaron?
Right.
2023?
No, last year. Last year.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
we've only been around since May. Yeah, we've only been around since last May. So when Maya was that January?
it started in 23.
Okay.
Oh God.
I know, right?
Oh wait, this might be my notebook. No, my notebook from Maya is over there. I don't want to get up.
Because that's where we kind of, well, that's at least for me, that's kind of where I first heard about you. I think.
Yeah, because I was doing RAs.
Yep. And we were
for him.
watching. Yep, we were watching Scott at that time, and
Yeah. So
yeah.
that was I want to say it was in 23
Okay.
that it started in 23.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we got the verdict in I believe it was December. Yeah. And then in early 24 is when the crap hit the fan.
Mhm. Yeah, it sure did.
That was crazy.
Right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a couple Jules and
well, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say we did a couple Jules Investigates. We were talking about that the other day. If you guys are interested in any of that, Jules has a spinoff on our channel called Jules Investigates, and we Aaron looked it up. I think we did 9 with you, and we did one with Dr. Joe, and then I think you did 2 with Greg about Greg and Nick. Right? I think we did 2 separate ones of that. So if anybody's interested in that, definitely go check that out. But what were you going to say, Jules?
I don't remember now.
No, that's twice I've said something. I've
no,
cut you off.
It's not you, Chris. Honestly speaking, and I really truly hate to admit this, but I'm having issues with the brain. Another byproduct of everything that went wrong with me in March. So yeah.
All right. No worries. No worries. We got your back, Jules. Don't worry.
I hope so, because there's going to come a day when I'm not going to know who you are. Just telling you now.
I have those moments now with Aaron. I'm like, who are you? Why am I here? Walking down Alzheimer's Avenue.
Yeah, but you're not of the age, sir.
I joke about that now, but that's not a joking matter. But now it's a joke. Now I can joke about it. But I know it's not a joke.
No. And I keep asking my son, do you see anything different with me? And he's like, Mom, you need to stay off of what did he say? I forgot. WebMD. That's what he said. I said, I don't go on there. He says, well, whatever you're always looking up on Google, stop. Mm-hmm. He said he goes to all my doctor's appointments with me.
Well, that's good. That's good.
DB, can you pull up DB's?
Sure.
Yeah. Actually, DB, I just heard about that yesterday. So I am going to look into it.
Okay. And Lacey, they were scheduled for 1:30, and we're waiting. We are waiting along with everybody else.
I'm just wondering if no one's showing the stream because Koberger's been live.
Well, I'm on the local channel here, and
do they say they're doing it?
They were scheduled for 1:15.
Good golly.
Yep.
Is there
Pretrial hearing.
anything in their comments?
2 people have commented.
What did they say? I
They
want to
say,
know.
"Hello, everyone. Hello, are we waiting for trial?" Those are the 2 comments.
And they didn't get any answers.
No answers.
Good golly. Here we go. Like we started out this morning.
I know. Let me go to their website. Not that that's really going to make any difference, but let's see. Any news here? Let me see. Stephan Sterns. I mean, I don't think anything would be here.
I'm doing my red light therapy on my feet right now. If anybody wants to know. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, the one from this morning says it's pretrial is kicking off today at 1:30. There's no reason for a local channel to not show this because they, to be quite honest, probably could care less about what's happening in Boise, Idaho right now.
True.
Because this is happening right, in their backyard. Just like the people in Boise, Idaho probably could care less about what's going down in Florida.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe they need to drag him in, Baca says. Yeah.
True. Maybe they had they may have had an issue on transporting him. I don't know.
Sterns is just shambling along, OnlyFan says.
OnlyFan.
Only plea. You finally got a plea. OnlyFan. He's always about plea deal, plea deal, plea deal. And he finally with Koberger. I was going to say Boberger. Koberger.
He's ugly, but I want to show that. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Which one? Oh.
Lacey, because it was like the show and hide, and I was going to show it because I like what that one says.
Didn't he do that already? Didn't he not show up one time? I think the very first one or second one.
In the very beginning, he was waiving his appearances, and then he shortly before the one about his phone. That hearing, shortly before that, he appeared in at one hearing. It was one of those 15-minute hearings, and then out he went. So really, the first time he's actually been in court was during the hearing about the phone evidence.
Right. Thank you, Puzzle Pieces, for your $3.99 super sticker. Appreciate that. Lady Justice says, I don't want Sterns to take a plea deal. I want all of his crimes all over TV like he did with the victim's materials. Yeah. Oh, because OnlyFans said we'll plea too.
OnlyFans, that's valid. When reality really sets in, see, it's up to his attorneys to really sit him down and tell him what the likelihood of him being found guilty as opposed to not guilty. The odds are not in his favor. And his lawyers really will be doing him a disservice by not advising him of that. And, if I was him, I'd take a plea deal too.
Yeah.
I think we may not see it in this trial. Well, there's still time. I mean, we've got 2 weeks. Anything can happen. Look at what happened with Koberger. Who knew that he was going to take a plea deal? Okay. So we have time. He may ask for a plea, but if he doesn't, then if if he's found guilty in this trial, he may have a wake up call and go to and have his lawyers go to Mr. J and propose, I'll plead guilty in lieu of taking the DP off the table. I mean,
Right.
anything is possible.
Yeah, everybody's covering Koberger. We're the only ones that are on Stearns. Come
No,
on.
Lady Justice, no, that's not necessarily true.
Which one? This one? A plea deal has to be on the table, though, and I'm not sure if they were offering one.
No. The defense most certainly can go to the prosecutor and say, listen, what will you offer my client if they plead guilty? That's done all the time. So, Mr. J probably didn't go to his defense team and say, what do you want to do? You want to work on a plea? I'm sure he didn't do that. But yes, the defense can go to the prosecution and say, what is that? Leave a trail of root beer barrels for him. That was one of his commissary orders.
Root beer. Yep. Let's see. Your acting only works on an audience. What I'd like to know is, why didn't the police officers arrest Jen? We've been talking a lot about that. We can continue to talk about that. Jules, what do you think? What's the main reason?
At the very least, like I said, they should have charged her with child neglect. At the very least, that's what should have happened.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that question on why they did not arrest her. Once they found out what was on his phone, once they found out her admitting that she let Maddie sleep with him, and absolutely the day that they found Maddie. I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer for that.
Now, how about this? How about we covered Lori Daybell and Melanice? They're still active in investigations with her. Do you think there's a possibility that the police, after, and same with the Adelsons, with Wendy and Donna now going to trial, do you think that there's a possibility that they'll go after Jennifer, after Stephan, maybe next year?
If they gave her immunity, no.
Well, that's a big if, though. That's a big if.
I think we're going to find, if she testifies in
yeah,
this
we'll
trial,
find out. Yeah,
we'll find out, because his lawyers are going to ask her, and she has
Absolutely.
to answer truthfully.
Absolutely. Well, as we were watching in the Raoul Valley trial up in Connecticut, that two of his accomplices, got offered immunity, and they called it a canvass, where they got up before the jury got out there. They got up there and they talked about this immunity and what it was to them. And then when the jury was then in front of the jury, the defense asked those same questions. So do you think that will happen? If she has immunity, she's going to get up, and of course, or not of course, but do you think then the defense will say, you were offered immunity, and if you didn't have it, you were facing X number of years? Do you think that's how that's going to go down?
No.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to do a before, not in front of the jury. I think she's up there testifying when it comes to cross-examination. I think the defense is going to, unless Mr. J wants to get out in front of it, and during his direct, he brings that out on direct in order to soften the blow from the defense.
Yeah, that's what happened with Valley. The state put it out there, and then the defense came back and they hammered it home. They hammered it a little bit harder, but it was already out there that this person is testifying And I'm trying to think from Hughes. Remember Zachary Hughes, the piano player, and I'm pretty sure. Okay, it wasn't Mello. It was the other guy. It was the current boyfriend of the woman who got killed. I can't believe I'm forgetting names now because that's anyway. So I'm pretty sure that they had him. They talked about his. Well, no, actually, he wasn't offered immunity. He was already under arrest. Yeah, I'm trying to thinking of so many different trials right now. Super Kelly G, Mr. J got out in front of a lot on Suitcase Sarah. Yeah.
Oh my God. I will never forget. I will just never forget the day that Mr. Owens wanted to know about the pink paper clip that was on the zipper of the suitcase, and he asked Mr. J, where is it? And Mr. J got so angry, he absolutely took the question the wrong way. It was just a question, Mr. J, but he took it, the box that the suitcase was in, turned it upside down, shook the box, the suitcase came flying out, and right behind the suitcase was the pink paper clip, and Mr. J yelled at Mr. Owens, there it is. And everybody was like, oh, and that's when the judge cleared the courtroom. We had to go outside and wait.
Right.
Baca, yes. Yes, it's the same one.
Yes. Yep. Mr. J is the same prosecutor. William J with the funky tie.
Oh yeah, that guy was, I'm going to just tell you, seeing him every day in court, he was a sharp dresser. He had the most outrageous socks on every day. They were hysterically funny. One day he had Snoopy socks on, another day he had Pluto socks on. I mean, he had, his socks were cartoon socks. It was great. It was absolutely great. And I would say to him, I would make mention of his socks, and he would look down and he goes, yeah, they're mine. He really didn't converse very much.
Yeah. What about Mr. Cacciatore's used Owen's stupid pictures? I don't remember that.
Yes, he
did.
He used them. He used them in his part of the closing.
That Owens drew pictures? I don't remember that.
Not, he didn't draw them. He had pictures. He had
Yes.
up.
Yeah. Okay. I got you now. I remember that. And who was the one that did the Star Wars reference? Was that Jay? Was that Mr. J? Or was that Cacciatore?
Oh,
I forget now.
I don't remember. Oh, wait. I think I have is this my Sarah Boone?
I think it was Mr. J. I'm going to go with Mr. J was saying he made the Star Wars reference. Was it like Wookiee or something? Was it?
This is Ashley Benefield. My notes for Ashley Benefield. So no, I thought it's probably somewhere. I have so many notebooks from so many trials that I attended.
I know. But that's a good thing. All right, we're going to have to make an executive decision here soon. It's a half hour now. We can always come back to this. Meaning we can always do this tomorrow or something, or another time. Yeah. They're probably dealing with other cases. That's the problem with going, 1:30 start. There's probably, who knows, 10, 20, 30 cases in front of them, and it just keeps getting kicked down the road, Well, we're going to do Kohberger no matter what. We're going to do that too. Obviously, we'll be late on that, but
Kohberger just finished.
okay. Well, let's hang here for a little bit. Since Kohberger's over, everybody's going to come here, so we might as well just stay here for a minute.
You want me to get on the phone and call the local news and say, hey?
Yeah. Erin said she just texted local Fox, and we'll see what they say.
Okay.
What was that girl? Sarah what was her name? Buffamani? No. Who was the don't say her name.
The one that I didn't like.
Yeah. What was her name? Sarah Buffamonte?
I don't know.
Something like that.
She completely went out of my mind because I didn't like her.
I know. All right.
But she because she wouldn't talk to me, but she talked to you.
Not much. I talked more with her her camera operator.
Yeah. He was nice. He talked to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I chatted with them. I talked to them. I talked to all of them. I was friendly with everybody. I had no well, we don't have to talk about that. I have a feeling more people will probably come over here now that Kohberger is done, but like I don't want to end this and then they're going to start. You know, there's always that.
I don't blame you. Maybe we should have made a later start time, but how are we supposed to know?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Because then if we had done this later, Kohberger would have been later. It just, yeah. What's this? All right, let's just hang out. It's so rare that we get to talk.
This is true. So we could go a little off topic for a bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. What do you want to talk about? What's on your TV behind you? Is that like a video game?
No, it's like when you have like your YouTube, like I have YouTube on over there for Kohberger, and I press pause. So when it's paused for like 10 minutes and there's no activity on the TV, it goes to that.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So it's like a screensaver kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess you can call it that.
Yeah. There's so many things that we could listen to. Cola is suggesting listening to. My only concern is if we get involved with something, we're going to like miss the actual trial. That's always my fear.
Yeah, but that's your job to keep an eye out on that.
I know. Maybe if I can find something quick, like just a few minutes. Let me see. I don't want to get involved in like an 2-hour-long interview. I just don't want to do that.
All right. So why don't you strum a song out?
Sterns phone call.
Make up some lyrics.
All right. This one's 15 minutes. I guess I can always end this if. All right. Let me play this. All right. Let's do this, and I will keep an eye out for the.
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephan Sterns,
inmate at
Osceola County Corrections Department.
To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Stephan, hey, where the hell you been? I've been trying to call. We've had us on lockdown so often. Every time I've asked it, we've been on a code 5 lockdown. Okay. Which means I've been unable to call. I've been trying to call all weekend, too. So you've been on lockdown all this time? Off and on, yes. On the days that I've asked, we've happened to be on lockdown, which means either an incident has happened or they're just so understaffed that they have to lock everyone down. Probably more to do with the staffing. Okay. How you been?
Well, had the world's shittiest birthday present, so.
Yeah. And then you didn't call, so I'm assuming because of changes that they prevented you from calling?
No, they were actually moving me around a lot, shuffling back and forth, so I was having to get my phone privileges jockeyed back and forth, which takes a little while. And then, like I said, the days that I was asking, we happened to be on lockdown on those days. So it's just been inconvenient.
Okay.
Very inconvenient timing, and then we were on lockdown all weekend. I wanted to call my mom's birthday. I tried to call yesterday. I tried to call Saturday, and there's no go anytime. So, but I've been wanting to call. How have you been?
I'm trying to put this on speaker.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put this on speaker. Okay.
How have you been? Can you hear me?
Good. Can you hear us?
Yes. Is Mom there with you?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
What's up?
Stephan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Is Mom with you?
Hang on a second.
Okay.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
Stephan, you can hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh. Yes. Okay, I got some speaker.
Okay. Is Mom there?
Yes, Mom's with me now.
Okay. Happy birthday, belated birthday, Mom, and happy belated Mother's Day.
Hi, sweetheart. I was so hoping to hear from you. I'm so glad I'm hearing from you now.
Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't able to call you all weekend. They had us on lockdown, so no one was able to do anything.
Were you expecting these charges?
No.
The murder charge.
Oh, well, we know you're not.
Okay, so you got blindsided by that.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not true. I never would have wanted her gone for any reason, so, premeditated first degree is kind of a dick punch.
Yeah.
No, I was wondering if you had any updates or anything.
Nope, we haven't heard a thing. Just, speculation that she's been
Hiding
put in an institution and hiding in an institution.
at her lawyer's request.
Yeah.
I mean, are you cooperating with police about her participation in any of this stuff?
There's been no opportunity for me to cooperate with anything. As I understand, the police keep saying that I'm uncooperative, but they haven't asked me anything to cooperate with, so whatever that means.
So your attorney isn't approaching them and saying, my client would like to speak with you?
No, my attorneys are pretty much saying to keep my mouth shut until the trial starts.
Well, okay.
Okay. I don't know why they were going to wait till the trial, but that's their business, not mine.
They don't want anything to hurt my chances.
Yep, understand. Okay.
Hey, what was Joey's last name?
Beltry?
Yeah, Veltri.
Joey Beltry? Beltry?
Veltri.
Beltry or Beltry?
Veltri with a V, like victory.
V.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah, it's basically, obviously this confirms that they're artificially inflating everything up as high as they can possibly do it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Little sticks.
what the plan is there. If they're just trying to scare me into pleading down, or I don't know.
No, they're not.
Okay.
They're just trying to hurt me as much as possible.
Are you able to share the Saturday night before you left for Kissimmee? You were pretty upset about something. Did it have to do anything with Kissimmee and the events that took place the next couple of days?
No.
Okay.
No, I just stressed out about money and job and everything like that. Some woman got on a YouTube thing and said that you weren't even at the party.
Party?
Yeah, her birthday party.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten there yet. I went up there Sunday evening and got there after she was done at her party.
Oh, okay.
And we were very happy that I was there. We were very happy that the three of us were together. It was shaping up to be a great week and a great visit. You know, there was no reason for anything to happen that happened.
Is there some explanation of I came up Wednesday morning, met you at the hotel early in the morning, and is there some explanation why you left and went where you went?
I was driving around.
Okay, understood you were driving around, but they know where you were driving around.
Yeah. Well,
and we know.
Okay. I had wanted to grab a few things and get my ducks in a row, kind of prepare myself for whatever was coming, but I couldn't find what I was looking for.
Okay.
And then I ended up just kind of driving around aimlessly.
Okay. I mean, you asked me to come up, and we hardly spent 35 minutes the entire time I was there throughout the entire day. And it's like, I wasn't sure why I was there, and then I was caught off guard by what happened later that afternoon, and obviously I haven't seen you since.
Yeah, well, I just felt like I needed an ally there.
Well, I wish you had come to me and talked to me about some stuff, and maybe I could have helped you out in some way, giving you some advice. But certainly, under the extenuating circumstances, what was later discovered obviously couldn't help you any further than what had already taken place. So, the most logical thing would be to have, face up to it and have a conversation with the appropriate authorities or get an attorney or something. But be that as it may.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got a copy of your birth certificate for Sheila Marino and for your case. We're trying to get hospital records from the TBI, but Sarasota Memorial says you were never a patient there, so that's ridiculous if we know you were.
Yeah. And were you able to find my Social Security card?
Yes.
Good. I presume it was probably in that mouse toy box with everything?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't.
It's in my.
No, I don't recall where it was, but it wasn't. It wasn't there. But
I don't remember if you had confirmed or not. Were you able to find my watch?
No, we weren't.
Yeah.
So
there was no popcorn box.
Silver mouse
we already
toy.
had your Social Security card. So why did you think we needed? I already knew your number. I don't. Why did you think we need to find the card?
Just in case I was going to need it in the future.
Okay. Well, we have that.
How long I'm going to be here, if or when I'll ever be released, or if you guys are going to be around at that point. But birth certificate, Social Security card might be things I'll need in that case.
Well, the penalty for the crimes you have been charged with carry a minimum 40-year sentence. So obviously we're going to be gone. Rick will be gone. We'll all be gone. I mean, we're sad about that, obviously, because there won't be anybody here for you when you come out.
Yeah, and I'll be lucky if I have another 40 years left in me either. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess everything sticks.
I wish there was a way that, you and I can have a conversation, all of us could have a conversation to understand what's taken place, how this came about, how you arrived here, because it would help us help us better understand the situation, because we're at a loss for understanding how all this came about. I mean, we're just totally baffled.
Well, I didn't start it.
Well, you didn't start it, but you participated in it, which is just as bad as not starting it, but that's for another day. Again, I don't know if
details or anything, but, you know, I mean, if you'd like to schedule a visit with me or something, maybe we can find some way to talk.
I don't know. I think we're always going to be recorded, so there won't be an opportunity to do that. Now, we have to make arrangements for you to sign off on a power of attorney so we can do something with this car.
Yeah.
And I would have to bring a document over. They won't even let me see you. I would just hand it to the classification officer. He would bring it in, you sign it, they would notarize it, give it back to me, and I would leave.
Okay. I think I just got the 1 minute warning.
Okay.
So yeah, give them whatever you need, and I'll sign whatever I need to sign. In the meantime, I'll try to call back in the next couple of days and we'll talk some more. If you wouldn't mind putting a little more money in my commissary as well.
All right, I can't do much stuff because we are really, when I say dead ass broke, I mean dead ass broke, but I'll do what I can.
Okay, I appreciate it.
That could change, but right now, for the next 30 days, we are definitely in lockdown.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, all right. I'll try to get over there within the week to get that POA taken care of.
Okay, there's a 15-minute cooldown before I can call back. I'll see if I can call back again. If not, I'll try to call back in the next couple of days.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Okay. All right, I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Excuse me. All right. We have some breaking news. Breaking news. Jules, what did we find out while we were listening to that phone call?
Well, I did some research, and apparently the hearing has taken place and is over. Stephan Sterns has had waived his right to appear, and the defense and the prosecution entered a joint motion to postpone the trial on July 15th, and judge denied it and said we are proceeding on July 15th. End of hearing.
Okay. So there you have it.
And that's probably why it wasn't streamed, because it sounds like it was only 10 minutes.
Yeah, if that. If that. All right. So we will, let's go over to Koberger. We set up a redirect. I know probably a lot of you have already watched that, but we have not. So come join us over there and let's talk about that. Jules, thank you for joining us. And I'm not going to take a break. We'll end this stream and we'll just redirect ourselves over there and we'll get started maybe in like 5 minutes, just enough to stretch your legs for a second.
How do I get over there?
You don't have to do anything. We'll send you the link.
You.
We'll send you the link. All right.
I need to do a new link?
Yeah. Because I'm going to end this stream and we'll do a new link.
All right. Bye, guys. See you on the flip side.
Okay. Thank you, Jules. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Aaron, thank you for all the work that you do on the back end. Thank you to our mod squad. You guys are doing a fantastic job today. We're kind of figuring out as things go along. It's been one of those days where it's just one of those days. What can you do? We do know that this trial will start July 15th. That we do know. So please join us for that. Right now, we're going to put a redirect on. We're going to end this stream and we're going to put a redirect on to go over and check out Koberger. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you in about 5 minutes. Have a good one, guys. Before though, let me, okay. Yep. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. Bye.